Hello, welcome back. It is Saturday, October 21st, and it's been a few days since we set up the first tissue culture. So this is going to be the first check-in, and guess what arrived? I have 3 more tissue cultures right here, and I'm going to quickly set them up. Since I did do like a thorough explanation in the first video, I'm not going to talk about the steps or anything. I'll just kind of set the camera up so you can see me clean them. And I'm gonna get them put up into the same container. Okay, first one is very tiny. It is an Anthurium Ace of Spades. I don't know if you can make out how tiny that is. It's so little. I've always wanted an Anthurium Ace of Spades, so I'm really excited for this one. I think if it grows and does well, it's gonna be beautiful. Okay, next one, I don't know why I got this one. I just always wanted it, I guess, because every time I see them, I think they're pretty. So I don't know. I hear they can be somewhat difficult. So it's a variegated banana. I don't know if you can see the variegation on some of those leaves already. Look at how cute that is. It's actually a decent size, I feel like, for tissue culture. Yeah, I don't know what made me get this one. I just wanted a variegated banana, I guess. So I'm very curious to see how this one is going to do. Since it already is so much bigger, I don't actually think I'll be able to stick this one in the same container. I just now realized that. I might have to set this one up in a different container. And the last one I think I'm most excited about. I'm a little nervous about this one. I don't know how it's gonna do. It's another variegated plant. It's a variegated Alocasia black velvet. You can make that out in there. So yeah, I'm gonna get all my supplies here set up. I already have my distilled water that I was using the other day. So I'm gonna get my bowls, clean my utensils, wash my hands really good, and then get set up here. And then I will give you a look at the Monstera Flame and just show you how it's been doing the last couple of days. Here is the Monstera Flame. I'm just gonna briefly take this off so you can see. I have it in my cabinet behind me, and you can see some condensation on here, so you can see that it is getting humidity and stuff. Ooh. I feel like it's doing really well. It's so cute. Camera doesn't want to focus. There we go. So this is 3 days out, and I don't see any sign of stress or anything like that. I'm gonna get it back under humidity. I'm probably gonna leave it under like 100% humidity for a couple weeks. I know they say for at least a week, but I'm still gonna leave them under pretty high humidity. one is really tricky because there's a lot of that agar kind of like down in here in the crevice of this one, the black velvet, and I'm trying to get all of that out, and I accidentally broke a little piece off, so I hope it's okay. I'm gonna just try and clean this one really good. I'm gonna let it soak again. I don't like how dark this one is at the base. It was like that already, and there were several roots here that were rotted, you see, so I'm not a fan of how dark that is. It looks more than just like the dark agar. I don't know. I'm worried this one might rot. All right, I am back. So this is what we're looking like. I got our labels and everything in here. So this is the Ace of Spades, and then the black velvet, a piece broke off. So I have the tiny piece there and the bigger piece there. And then I went ahead and put the variegated banana in this one, but you can see it's kind of tall. It's gonna get squished in there for now, but I feel like I'm just gonna put it in here with the rest of them so I can better like manage and monitor them all together. So I put 10/21 on here for the date. And so with our Monstera Flame, what we're gonna do is just sit these right here so that they're kind of separate now. So that's our little set of tissue cultures. Let me see how this is gonna fit. All right, the banana's a little squished, but again, it'll be okay for like a week to 2 weeks in here. If this process goes as well as I'm thinking it will, then I can get some to like grow and then eventually sell. I feel like it would be fun for me, and they don't take up a lot of space like this, you know? They're like tiny plants. So I will see you back here next weekend, this coming weekend, for technically the first check-in, and we'll see how they're holding up. Hello, I'm going to do a tissue culture update. It is November 1st. It is a Wednesday, November 1st, the day after Halloween. The last time I did an update is when I actually did the whole process. I don't think I did an update after that. So this might be the first check-in or second check-in, I'm not sure. But they're doing well. I actually ended up doing something off camera, and I wished I would have waited to do it on camera. I wasn't thinking when I did it because I was in panic mode because I found spider mites in my cabinet, and I was like, oh no. So I was cleaning up my cabinet really quick and like treating infested plants. It wasn't a ton of spider mites, but enough to like make me have to clean my entire cabinet out to reduce spread. And the tissue cultures, one of them, it was like growing a new leaf actually, and it was just getting bent. So I moved it to its separate container. So this is the biggest update I feel like, and I actually feel like I'm gonna have to move it again. I don't think this container is going to work. So it's actually growing pretty quickly, and I didn't put enough soil in here. So when I go to do this one again, I'll do it on camera. So I have the tissue culture in here. You can actually see it's growing a lot of new roots. And this leaf here was getting kinked in that little container. So this is just like a plastic cup, and I put another one over top, and then I just did a loose layer of tape. It's not even sealed all the way because I have it open there. So it's not like super like 100% humidity, but it's very humid because you can see all that condensation happening in there. So it's still very humid, but I feel like out of all of them, this one is growing very fast and doing very well. I'm going to take this off. So I did this on 10/21. So yeah, it's been exactly like 10 days. I could probably start giving these guys lower humidity, but I'm going to leave them under higher humidity for a bit. So we have the Monstera Burle Marx Flame here. It hasn't done anything or grown much of anything. It's still like the original leaves. Oop, right here. And then we have the Ace of Spades. Can you see it's working on a new little leaf right there? And the leaves are kind of more firm. I don't know if you can tell, it's more plump and hydrated. And then the Black Velvet Variegated is right here. I have the two pieces, that one and then that little piece that broke off. So I feel like it's doing like well. I haven't really noticed too much with it. We'll see how it ends up turning out. Let me actually see if any of these are growing roots because I haven't actually checked to see the root system. I can't really see that it's done much with the root system yet. So definitely still working on rooting. Let's see if this one has done anything. Ooh, I see a root. You see it peeking out there? Right there. So it is working on growing some roots. I also did end up using my little squirt bottle like this, and I gave the soil a little bit of water. I normally don't have to do that, but I did feel like this was drying. Probably, maybe I left it cracked accidentally, or it's just so warm in my cabinet that it dried pretty quickly. So that's the only thing that I felt like I needed to do, and that's why you want to check and monitor and make sure that they're doing okay, because I didn't want this to get super dry. Uh-oh. Making sure that wasn't a spider mite, because I wouldn't be surprised if they got in here somehow, since I had that outbreak in my cabinet. So yeah, I'm gonna close the lid back on these. It's actually getting quite a bit of condensation. I don't know if you can tell all that condensation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna crack this actually. I'm gonna do like halfway on the air holes up top. So I'm gonna leave it vented like that just to promote some more circulation. Because what happens when there's all this condensation, and when the leaves and stuff are right up against it, it can cause them to mush and rot. And I don't want them to rot, the leaves, and even like not even touching, sometimes it's just so much moisture is in here. It's so humid that the leaves itself just hold on to moisture. So I think it'll be fine if I crack them open. I can start acclimating them to a little bit lower humidity. It's like 70. Oh, I have my cabinet open for a while. It's only like 50% humidity in my plant room, but in my cabinet, it's usually like 70% or so, depending on the day. So yeah, I think that'll be fine to do that. But I think they're doing very well. Haven't had any issues or haven't noticed anything other than this guy. I knew when I put him in here that it was too big, but it's okay. I got him moved out, and yeah, it is rooting and growing very quickly. So yeah, my next check-in will probably be in a week. I'm gonna move this guy to an even bigger container. I actually, honestly, what I might do is just take the lid off, because I could probably, yeah, he's already acclimated to lower humidity because this is open. So I can just add a little bit more soil in here, lift it up real quick, add some soil, and just leave the lid off. I will probably leave this one open, vented like this, and then the next time I go to like the next check-in, I'll probably leave it open all the way, or I might open it all the way before then. It really doesn't matter too much. As long as it's not like a drastic change in humidity, they should do fine. You just don't want to go from like 100 to a 50 within like a day. So this to having the lid off, like it vented like that to the lid off, should be fine. And as long as they're in my cabinet getting like 70%, they'll do fine. And then if I move them out of my cabinet where it's more like 50, 60, they'll be fine from that little jump. You just don't want to do like a drastic change. So yeah, that is a little update for November 1st. Like I said, the next check-in will be in about a week or so, maybe 10 days, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, they're doing well and I'm excited and I actually want more. This has made me, like, I love growing little plants from babies. It just brings me the most joy. Out of all the plants in my collection, give me a cutting and I'll grow it the best that I can. Give me a big mature plant. It's not that special to me. If that makes sense, I would much rather have small plants and grow them big. That just brings me the most joy. So I love doing tissue culture. So the tissue cultures have turned into a little rehab sesh. I probably have like several weeks of a setback now. It's my own fault. I let them get too dry. I had planned on filming an update weeks ago and then things just got busy and I kept putting it off, and then it was like Thanksgiving week and I had plans to do it, and then like other plant care came first, and then I had like an Instagram sale. So I definitely got this video put behind. So yeah, this is now, we are in the first week of December. So yeah, let's take care of these plants because I feel bad because these are all like plants that I wanted. They are in a mixture of 50% coco coir and perlite. So I'm going to pot them up into just like my coco coir mix. I have the Monstera Burle Marx Flame. I did this October 18th, this one. And then a couple weeks later on, when was this? 10/21. No, a few days later. Has it really been this long? Oh shoot. It has been a while. So yeah, I severely underwater them. I'm just hoping they didn't rot, like the roots didn't rot. I have a feeling this one doesn't look good. Doesn't look happy. The variegated banana. I just so mad that I underwatered them. My cabinet gets so dry so quickly. I have to water every 4 or 5 days. And I just had them on the bottom shelf and I just was like a couple days behind on watering my cabinet, and just happens. Sorry this video is like starting off bad, but we're gonna rehab them back. I'm just going to pot them into like smaller, like bigger vessels so that they can continue to root more. So let's do the Monstera Burle Marx Flame because this one's the most important one out of the bunch. I'm like just thankful that they didn't die on me. That one does have like a pretty decent root system kind of forming. And these are, from what I've heard, like slow growers, which I didn't know about. So I'm not disturbing the plug at all. I'm just kind of making some room in the new pot. And we're just gonna plop and fill around. I was just thinking to myself, I kind of want to grow these or at least 3 of these in pond, but I'm planting them in soil. I probably should have used moss because I could do moss to pond transfer, but now since these are already in kind of like a soil base, I don't know if I don't want to go directly to pond. I'm just going to plant them up in soil for now since that's kind of what they're used to until they grow a bit bigger, and then we'll see what I want to do with them. Oh, that's so cute. See, it already looks better. Honestly, the only thing that you really need to do with tissue culture is after a week, you can slowly like acclimate them to a little bit lower humidity, and then, you know, eventually you can plant them in a bigger container and then they'll start growing more. But I just severely neglected these ones. Not that I neglected them, I was just behind and I kept putting it off because I knew I like wanted to film. I have to water that one in yet. So I have an Anthurium Ace of Spades, and this one looks like it may have caught some sort of weird fungal thing. I don't know. I'm gonna cut some of these 2 little baby yellow leaves off. And then, I mean, it has a decent little root system. Let's do this one into here. I just really have to be on time with my cabinet next time. This black velvet little baby, it kind of died, but then it kind of has like a little stump. Do you guys remember I had like 2 separate containers? This was the variegated black velvet. So I'm gonna plant these both in here and just see where it grows. This one I will definitely be doing in pond once it grows more. Cut off some of these leaves. Okay, and now this one. It's my own fault. Get all this brown mushiness. The root system's okay, so I think we'll be good. It's just I kind of damaged the leaves. They were like squished in that container. It just outgrew the original thing so quickly, and then it outgrew this thing so quickly, and I only had like a tiny like inch layer of soil, and it dried out way too quickly. And then I watered it again, and you know, some like dry rot can happen if you let it get too dry and you go to water. It just like shocks the root system and then it rots. I might just go ahead and put them back in my cabinet. I'll just be really mindful not to let them dry out. Now that they have more soil, I think they'll be okay. That new leaf is really pretty though. I'll have to show you it up close. They look better right now. Makes me feel a little bit better, but how they were like stressing me out. All right, let's go grab our water and give these a thorough drink and then stick them back in our cabinet, and then I'll update you in probably 10 days or so and go from there. And if they're doing well and growing, I might do like one more update before I post the video, but yeah, we'll kind of see what the progress is like in about a week and a half or so and go from there. I did add some fertilizer in here because I haven't given them any nutrients. Okay, so I put them back in my cabinet here. Oh, and I just set them all in a tray together. That way I can bottom water it if I need to. So that's the Monstera Burle Marx Flame, the variegated black velvet, the ace of spades. That leaf is still a little suspicious. It may just be like underwatering stress. And then that's the variegated banana, and look how pretty that leaf is. So I'm thinking they'll do okay now that they're not going to get severely underwatered anymore, and I can keep an eye on them. Hello guys, welcome. I am going to give you one last final update on these tissue cultures so I can get this video put together for you guys. It's probably going on like almost 3 months. I think I started this mid-October. And I did have another update before this one, but unfortunately I deleted it off my memory card accidentally. I was really trying to save all my footage onto one memory card so that that would not happen. But I started filming on a memory card that was already in the camera and I forgot to change it. And when I was cleaning it out to make room on it to have space for more videos I was filming, I accidentally deleted it. So that is okay, but they are doing very well. I'm going to give you an update on them all. I have them all right here and I'm going to water them here with you, and they should be good. They should be on their way to growing very happily now. I don't expect any issues with them. I'm still trying to decide if I should do pond for a couple of these, so I may in some time switch some of them over, but for now they seem really happy in their little setup, so I'm going to leave them like this until they get root bound or it's time to upsize, and then I'll go from there. I'm going to take these out here one by one and show you. So this one here is the Monstera Flame, Burle Marx Flame, which I am super excited about. So it is growing. I was told that this is a very slow grower, so I definitely have to learn to be patient with this plant. Since you've seen this plant last, a leaf did yellow, and it's put out one new leaf here. So I don't think it'll put out a new leaf for a little bit yet, but it's so beautiful. That's what it's looking like. This is the newest leaf here, and it is the biggest one so far, you can see. And I have lots of healthy roots in here growing. So this mixture is about pretty much dry, so it is time to water. This one here is the Anthurium Ace of Spades. So this is a new big leaf here, and it's currently pushing a new one. So I think I might get some moss and kind of like fill this in a little bit here, because this needs some moisture up around here, but this is very dry, so I need to water it. But it's doing very well. It seems to be growing steadily. This one here, I was a little worried about. This is the Black Velvet Variegated, and it's put out some leaves that have a little color, but I don't know what to make of this one yet. And it has a little growth right there coming in. Some of the leaves look more green, but then these ones up here have a little bit of white. So I'll have to see what this one does when it starts growing in some time. But it seems happy so far. Like I said, they're very dry right now, so I definitely need to water them. And then the variegated banana is here. I kind of felt bad because I neglected this one some and it was underwatered, so I have some like crispy tips here and it was a little bit squished, but this is a new leaf that it gave me and it's pretty healthy, you can see. Camera doesn't want to focus, there we go. So that is a beautiful leaf. But overall, it's growing very steadily. You can see it has a ton of roots in here as well. My cabinet is a little bit more humid, but it's not too different than my outside plant room, so they don't really shock coming out of my cabinet. The only thing is my cabinet gets a lot more light. So if I take these out and they are in a little bit of a lower light situation, then they can definitely shock more. So I have them sitting in a little tray right here, so it's easy to water these. And then I have fertilizer in here. I have the GT foliage focus, and I have been fertilizing them with every water now to keep them growing, because it's just cocoa cord, mostly perlite. I did throw a little bit of like my mix into here, but it doesn't really have a ton of nutrients in the soil, so I definitely need to fertilize them. So I give them the drink, and then any leftover water, they kind of just bottom water it up. Kind of thoroughly like that. Yeah, so that's kind of how they've been sitting and growing. I keep them on my bottom shelf right back in that little corner right there. So that's where they're living, and they're right under the grow light, so they're getting pretty ideal light. So I'm super happy with them. I'm definitely so excited to do more tissue cultures because I think it's such a fun process. And if I would have bought these plants more mature, I would have spent a lot more money on them. I forget now like the total that I paid. This one of course was gifted, the Flame, so I didn't have to pay for that, but buying these more mature, I definitely would have been paying more money for them. So I'm a patient person and I love growing plants from small, so I really enjoy this process, and I just see it as a way to get more plants at an affordable price. So, and it's so fun to grow them from this, you know, from small, because they get to grow up in your environment, and I feel like it makes them less stress sensitive in a way. You know, it's not like a big mature plant coming into a completely different environment. So they just get used to your space in a way. So I really hope you enjoyed this whole tissue culture process. I'm excited to get this video up for you guys. Any future updates on these plants will probably just be in my monthly, or I usually do them every other month, like my plant updates, where I walk you around my entire collection and update you on everyone. So if you are watching this and you're looking for an update, check my plant updates and you'll probably see an update there. I just did one in December, so my next one will probably be in February sometime. So look out for a plant update then on these. If you have any questions about tissue cultures or anything, just let me know down below in the comments. I love getting back to you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you here soon.